Good morning. Good morning. Hey, what's up? What's up, Facebook? We are going to have a fun show today. I'm going to have Master Cody Garza and Grandmaster Al Garza on KHEA today. Premier Martial Arts. So Al Garza's Premier Martial Arts. There's 3 locations in our area. I have been training at one since the end of last year. Right now, there's been a hiccup with all of the locations being closed, but there is a solution. There's a solution. Online training. It has been really cool to see my son. He's been training at Premier Martial Arts for, I guess, like a year and a half now. And so we had Grandmaster Garza and Master Cody in multiple times before, but right now there's some cool things that we want to focus on. One of those is free training to you and your family. I think there's going to be about 2 weeks of free training with their online Zoom classes that you're going to have the opportunity to check out, and that's absolutely for free. And then there's some other really cool things like some focusing on kids workshops, and then there's also there's going to be an attempt, and it will be broken. It's a world record. They're going to have the biggest online martial arts training class ever recorded, and you're going to be able to participate in that as well. So go ahead and share this video out. Let me know what you got going on today at Abundant Life today on the campus. There is a Houston Food Bank food drive taking place. It was supposed to start at 10 o'clock, but I got here between 8 and 8:30, and there was cars lined up all the way around the building, and they were just driving through. This is how it's happening. You stay in your car. You don't have to get out. You just drive through. You can either pop your trunk or have a volunteer with a pre-boxed, a bunch of items, and they just place it in your car, and then you drive off, and that's it. So if you need to or would like to or know somebody who could benefit from that, feel free to come by. I believe that's going to be going till about 12 o'clock. So 12 o'clock today. Right now it's 9:17. I'm going to kick this onto the FM, and we're going to have a good time learning about Premier Martial Arts and just having a good time of fellowship. I miss Grandmaster Garza and Master Cody because I used to see them pretty much multiple times in the morning training, and now I only get to see them on social media and in situations like this. So here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name is Gardy, and I'm excited to have an awesome show lined up for you today. I'm going to have Premier Martial Arts, Al Garza's Premier Martial Arts here on KHEA this morning. We're going to be learning about everything going on. So I'm going to go ahead and pipe their signal in as they are both going to be coming to us remote from their house. So good morning, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Morning.
Good morning.
Y'all doing good?
Yes, sir. Doing great. How are you?
You know, I'm doing pretty good this morning. Now I'm doing better. And we used to have a lot of mornings together training in jiu-jitsu and some other stuff, but here lately that's been put on a halt. But so I'm glad to see you guys.
We're glad to see you too, Gardy.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So we have a Grandmaster Al Garza here, and I noticed that your shirt has something on it, and I see it. I see both of y'all. So I have my PMA shirt on, and I see Cody has his Premier Martial Arts shirt on, and then we have Grandmaster Garza. What's on your shirt? Can we talk about that for a little bit?
Well, when you first look at it, you see peace or you see teach, but it's a combination of teach, peace. Something that just ran across my desk last year, and I just loved it because that's what we're about.
Yes, sir.
That's what Jesus is about, and I just wanted to start off with that because, in talking about self-defense and some of the topics we're going to be talking about, there's going to be 2 mindsets out there. There's going to be that peaceful mindset that we're trying to bring it to peace. I mean, that's Jesus was the Prince of Peace, is the Prince of Peace, and peace officers, and we're those people who teach peace. And then there's those people who don't look at it that way. They get excited and they have a more of a negative mindset about it, a fearful mindset. So we want to do something to bring peace and teach an awareness of some skills that our people need to know. All people need to know.
Yes, sir. That's one thing. One of the things that I love about PMA and the PMA family. It's not just about your physical being, but it's a lot of spiritual stuff too. And in getting texts and messages and words and prayers, from you, and being able to reach out and know that I know that y'all are praying. Like if I have an issue in my life, it's like a family, and I was like, hey, this is going on, and I know that y'all are going to be praying. It's a family. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We say one family, we say one team, and we're fighting one fight. And when we abide in Christ, we make it look easy. but it's not easy. I just wanted to share this scripture with you real quick. It's Psalm 34:14. Let this get into your spirit. It says, turn away from evil and do good. Search for peace and work to maintain it. Work to maintain it and search for it. I believe it's with us right now, right? Sure. And that was it.
Yes, sir. I agree. And I was talking to Cody, earlier this week, and there's some really cool things that are going on at Premier Martial Arts. Some of them are coming up, and people have the opportunity to check it out. So what do we have going on?
So we have three big things going on right now. One of them is an offer we've been doing kind of since this lockdown started. I know we do a lot with the local school district. We go in and teach PE classes a lot and stuff. And so when all this lockdown came about, we just kind of felt like we wanted to try and help kids have some sort of PE. We were already doing a lot of online. We were kind of pivoting all of our classes online and putting a lot of effort into that. And so what we decided to do was to offer two weeks free, basically. At the time, that was a hopeful 2 weeks of this would all be over in 2 weeks. Obviously, it was not. But either way, 2 weeks free of online training. And so what that looks like is one of our program directors, Mr. Ben. I'm not sure if you've met Mr. Ben. He works over in League City mainly. But he's running the online classes, him and Mr. Scott are. And so they basically take you through 4 online classes over the course of 2 weeks. You get a free uniform. You get a homework book that they teach some things that the kids go through, like just some self-discipline acts. You probably remember the very first lesson that you guys ever did. You got a homework book that goes home. They memorize the student creed, do some acts of self-discipline. So all it's the same little 2-lesson package, but now it's for 2 weeks. We wanted to kind of extend it a little bit, give them a good workout, give them some positive things. And so, yeah, that's a free thing you can do. Reach out to us. We can give you the link. You go in, just send us your information. We can call you and set you up to start the next class. It's no obligation. Obviously there are people who are enjoying it and they want to join the ongoing online training that you guys are going through afterwards, but it's not required. You can just do 2 weeks free just to get off the couch and do something.
Yeah.
So,
I've enjoyed the structure. Well, martial arts is a lot about, discipline. And especially in this time, it's bringing structure into my family. I have a 7-year-old son, and he's been taking the online Zoom classes. And so yesterday at 3 o'clock, it was like, all right, my son's name is Kellen. Kellen, it's time to change out of your pajamas. We're going to, it's ready for martial arts. But it's bringing structure, and I guess, is that what martial arts really is all about, or a portion of it at least?
Absolutely. Discipline. Yeah, go ahead, Dad, if you want to talk.
Yeah, I'd like to just address that. Jim Collins wrote a book, Good to Great, and asked the question, what makes a company go from good to great? What is it? What is the key ingredients? And they came up with, after many studies, that it is disciplined people, thinking disciplined thoughts, and taking disciplined actions. And that just got my soul because, we are about discipline. I mean, and discipline, the Bible says God disciplines those he loves, and he loves us all. So when he's disciplining us, he's loving on us, and just like our parents are. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. When I hear the word discipline, I don't really like it because I think of growing up and my parents, correcting me.
I'm the same way, but I've had to reframe myself, it's a paradigm shift for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I wanted to share a story that happened yesterday. So online Zoom training, right now we're taking advantage of Zoom. It allows people to do video conferencing if you're not familiar with it. So it's really easy to use, and it's free. For me as the consumer, hey, I just get the code, log in, it's free. You don't have to pay for Zoom, right? Unless there's other things you can do where you can. But so my son, he's 7. He's in I guess that's like the Little Champs class. So all of these kids, they can get featured on the video. So with the iPad that we have set up where he's taking the classes, it's really hard to see him. So yesterday he was like, man, I never get on the shot. I never get on the camera. I bet it's because, the people, they can't see me. Because if they could see me, I would be on the camera, My technique is great. He's a 7-year-old. Of course it is. So I'm holding the iPad and I'm moving it up so that way they can see him. And he does a kick and he's like, oh, I'm doing so good. And then he's like doing this little dance, and then he gets featured on the camera shot, and he's like doing this dance, and then he just like, he freezes and drops to the floor and crawls out of the shot. He crawled out of the shot because he was just so embarrassed. And then they switched the camera shot away, and I was like, "What are you doing? Get up, get up!" But he was just like, "Well, that must have meant that I was doing really good, right? Because they featured me on there." And I was like, "Yeah." So it's funny and fun, those stories that I'm sure he'll remember that forever. I know I will, but it was a fun thing. Have y'all had any interesting stories that y'all have heard or feedback from the kids adjusting to the online Zoom training?
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely a different season. We've had a lot of positive feedback, just like what you said, to bring structure and we have one little girl I just heard about yesterday. She's an only child, and we actually went to a birthday parade and she missed it. And I was kind of like asking my wife, "Hey, why did she miss the parade?" And she said, "Well, she had her online class." And we post our Facebook replay on our closed member group so people can take the class later if they miss it. And so I was like, "Oh, she should have just done the replay." And my wife was like, "Well, she's an only child. That's literally the only, she craves that interaction with other people and those kids." So it was cool to hear that people are putting that much value on it, that they're like, that's something that's set in their week and they won't move that. And here we are, we missed class to go to birthday parade and they're going to do it later. So.
Yeah. Cody, you have boys. Have they been doing the online training, or are they getting that one-on-one instruction from you as well? How's it going?
They get a little bit, not as much as people would think. I think it's a common thing that people are like, "Oh, it's cheating because their dad teaches them martial arts all the time."
Yeah.
It doesn't really work like that. I'd choke slam them on the couch and stuff like that, but rarely are we, dropping down in stances. I mean, they've actually, in this season more than ever before. Yes, we do train a little bit, but not all the time. And I'm more, when I get off work, it's more fun, and I like to be dad more than martial arts instructor. So they do the martial arts training online, and it's going well. Specifically for my older son. My older son's more of the pleaser. He wants to do everything right and do it well. He's like Kellen, he wants to be on camera. And then my little Emmett, my younger child, is a more upside down on the couch and front kicking his brother and stuff like that. So it's fun. But Mason's wanting to always be on the camera, and Emmett's being crazy. And so sometimes Mason's like, "Get out of here! I want to be on camera. I got to show him how good I am," just like Kellen.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be highlighted by the instructor and shouted out by Miss Bella.
Yeah. Is he getting like a karate kick out, like a side kick, roundhouse, and be like, "Get on my shot, bop"?
Yeah, it's always something different.
All right. Hey, so right now it's 9:27. This is KHEAradio.com, 99.5 FM. I'm talking to Master Cody Garza and Grandmaster Al Garza with Premier Martial Arts. If you're watching on social media, and there's a lot of comments coming in, feel free to ask a question. Let me know, have you trained martial arts, or specifically at Al Garza's Premier Martial Arts? I see Curtis Delaney. Curtis Delaney's commented. He was like, "Hey, I miss you, Gardy. I miss y'all. I miss everybody. But I think the thing that we need to focus on is like, hey, it's a season, and then, we can kind of adjust with it and come out on the other side better, during this time."
Exactly.
Yes, sir. So we have another thing that I know we were going to kind of bring up as well, and I wanted y'all to speak on that, but some kind of world record that's going to be attempted or broken. What else is going on?
So we got two more things I think we plan to talk about. The first one we can hit on that, but the big one that we'll finish with is our Kids Safe workshop coming up. So
okay.
we can go world record first if you'd like.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'll kind of start, and I'll let Grandmaster Garza say anything he wants about it. So basically, this is a Premier Martial Arts worldwide thing. Premier Martial Arts is an organization of about 80, 90 something schools right now. And so what we're doing is there's an instructor that is going to be teaching what the goal is, the world record for the largest martial arts class ever. And so he's going to be teaching a class on Saturday, it's first Saturday in May, whatever that is. It's the second. Yeah. And so all the Premier Martial Arts schools from all around the country and all around the world are inviting their friends, inviting their students, and we're going to have one massive Zoom online class, and it's going to be super cool. And it's taught by a world-class competitor who's high-level martial artist who's going to be teaching an awesome class. So we're pretty excited about it, and I think our students are getting a little excited. We just started talking about it a couple days ago, so we're pretty pumped up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So that's going to be that first Saturday next month, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, time is going by. It's weird. Some things are going, like during this season, some things are going by really quick, and then other things are going by really slow. And I don't know, because it's just weird. It's just interesting to look at, because this year has been not like any that I remember, but it's just weird how time how time works. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, we were looking at doing a calendar. I mean, for our members, we do a calendar every month, and in this season, we haven't been doing it. And so, in a meeting yesterday, we were talking about trying to, just have a better customer experience. And we were like, man, we should do a calendar for online classes. And so, in my head, I'm thinking we're doing April, and then I realized like April's just about over, so we really should be doing May at this point. It's like, what happened to April? How did that happen?
yeah, April's gone. April's gone. So let's talk about the Kid Safe workshop. What is that?
You want to go ahead, Ted?
Sure. Let me start off by saying the Kid Safe workshop. As Master Cody said, we're connected with Premier International, so this is going to be happening all over the United States. It's currently happening because we kind of declare April and May as being family safety, kid safe time. A time where, especially with this coronavirus now, the kids have so much more free time, and so we need to be able to help. We're part of the village that's raising our children, and we have a lot of children, and we have a lot of influence, and so, when you think about self-defense, I wish it was easy to just say, hey, this is what a bad guy looks like, and this is what a good guy looks like, but it's not that easy, so it's an education that I think every parent has the duty. We as parents have the duty to teach self-defense, just like we teach them the ABCs. And we have what we call the ABCs of conflict avoidance, and we teach them the mental. We say 90% of self-defense is mental, regardless of whether you're a child or an adult. So it requires an education and a certain mindset and a character that's driven by a character. So we spend a lot of time talking about that kind of thing. And there are 3 bads that I wanted to just give you an idea of what I'm saying here. Is like the first bad is a bad guest. A bad guest, it's more than 90% of the crime is done by a bad guest. Think about that. A bad guest is someone who you've invited into your home, or you've been born into a family, or it's a friend who just got out of control. And that is who does the damage. That's who does the crime. The second is the bad guy. And the bad guy doesn't always look like the bad guy. And Master Cody's teaching a lesson that really points that out and hits home well on it, because strangers are not necessarily strangers. Sometimes they're people you know. And last, the bad situation. And I think in the bad situation, we just need to learn how to respond when things are hard, when there's bad events happening, how to respond so that we're not a part of that problem. So that's our deal. It's 90% of it is mental, and I want to start this part of it just to quickly talk to the parents. As we do this, if you'll tune in, you'll learn about the ABCs of conflict avoidance. Our brain is like a computer, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm not the master of the computer. I am, I do certain things and I do them well, but there's a lot of things I don't even do, because I don't know how. But our brain is like that. And this ABCs of conflict avoidance has been something that I teach my students for several years now, to how to process and how to recall principles of self-defense. And our first goal is to avoid potentially dangerous situations. That's the A. The B is be calm and breathe. The C is communicate with confidence and respect. The D is don't put yourself in a worse situation than you're already in. And the E is environment can be used to your advantage. And F is yell fire instead of help. And G is get away. And H is hit hard, hit fast, hit first, hit last. That's a relentless attack. The mindset is attack the attacker because you can't get away. Then it reverses. Get away. On the way out, yell fire instead of help. Call attention to the situation. Use your environment that you're aware of, and don't put yourself in a worse situation than you're already in. First responders, police, family, neighbors, anybody coming to the call, communicate with confidence and respect. Be calm and breathe, and avoid potentially dangerous situations. And the education is teaching them what we used to use the word RAD a lot, and it's not used as much, but it's still very valid. It's a timeless thought. It's recognizing danger, avoiding it, and defending against it. That is what we talk about when we talk about RAD there.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a Cooper color code that we teach too. And it's a pretty simple thing to memorize this, but to practice them, we need to do it every day and have our family doing it together and using it. You know, Master Cody's teaching a real simple basic for the younger ones that's using the green, yellow, and red light. And this one just adds a little bit to it, but it's just, I want to finish my intro on this and then let Cody tell you about how we're doing this. And understanding that these principles are for adults, for women, self-defense classes, for adult family protection, and all of them. So the Cooper color code is this, is that we have white. Now think about your family. We do not want our family caught in a situation that is a life and death situation and to be unaware and unprepared. That's the white zone. Yellow is a relaxed alert. We want to train ourselves to be relaxed and alert to the environment when we're out and about. And, you know, it's really hard to always be on, but we need to know when are we in that relaxed alert. And then orange is specific alert. When you have a bad gut feeling about something or you see something, this is the orange. And the red is fight or flight. And if we can get away, we want to get away without doing harm or having harm caused to us. But if it has to be a fight, we need to be trained to fight. And then last is black. And that's freaking out, flailing. That is doing things that are not trained because you're flailing, you're freaking out, you're out of control. And these are they're so adaptable to everyday life. So what you'll find is as you train your children with this, you'll be able to use this in different ways that you will never imagine until you have that one moment there. So the bookends is white and black. And they don't have to do with belts. They have to do with a zone of awareness and a response to that zone of awareness that is a trained response. We say train hard, fight easy. We say train for reality. We say we are sheepdog in training, never wolves. And that's the thing that we're going to be getting across, some of those minor things with the kids, and then we'll be following it up with some parent training and some family protection classes, as well as some ladies self-defense. And then we're going to do some military and law enforcement sheepdog training as well.
Yeah, and those are things that y'all have been doing, I mean, even free, you know, previous to the quarantine and, you know, people not able to do stuff, but like those trainings going to schools, doing free classes in the parks with the different cities and churches and organizations. And, you know, I understand, but why is that so important to do that stuff? I mean, y'all do that stuff for free.
Well, we do both. We have fees for certain ongoing training. So it's really good to just kind of introduce the community to it. But also when people don't have budgets or whenever people just want something for us to do, we're happy to come do it. It's going to be a win-win no matter how you look at it. And we're on a mission. I mean, our mission is this. You know, my background started out where there were people doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. We call them wolves. And we say that there are three kinds of people. There are sheep, there are wolves that prey on the sheep, and there are sheepdog that protect the sheep. And so focusing on that is what we focus on. So when we say that, we are called a lot of times to talk to various groups. Sometimes it's for companies training their employees. Sometimes it's for women's organizations, and sometimes it's for children's organizations. So we have a motto: be ready for anything, and we try to do that by helping the community be ready for anything.
All right. Hey, so we're just about out of time. Zoom said so a bit ago. But
okay.
Hey, is there anything else that we need to reiterate, or we can just share again, or talk about?
Let me talk a little bit real quick about what's going on Friday night that he was kind of intro in there. So
okay.
Friday night we're doing our next Kids Safe workshop. So we did one Saturday for the community on a smaller scale, and then we did on Monday. We did it with all of our members. We went through the Kids Safe workshop, and now Friday at 5 p.m. we have the next Kids Safe workshop, and it's similar to the things Grandmaster Garza was just saying. It's just set up in a format that it's really relatable to kids. So all the way down to as young as 4, 5, 6-year-old kids can get it and grasp it. And it's something that the parents go through with them, and it gives them an opportunity to have conversations over dinner or, however you guys as a family decide to do it. But it just brings up things like stranger danger. What is a stranger? We've had a lot of feedback from parents that are like, I thought my kids understood these things because I always mention it, but it was really clear after that workshop that they did not understand. And so that workshop allowed them to understand a little better and then give them a language to speak. So, yeah. That, and then also things like good touch from people, bad touch, things like what to do to make you hard to move from what we call crime scene 1 and crime scene 2. So not getting taken from a place, things like that. It's about a 45-minute to an hour workshop. It'll be Friday at 5 p.m. And it's totally free for the community. You don't even have to live in this area. We've got people that are going to do it from out of state, and it doesn't matter. It's not about gaining members. It's just about spreading this information out and getting those conversations to happen in the homes to keep the kids safe. So we'd love to have anybody who's listening to this tune in and invite your friends and family. And we'll post a link under this video probably, that way everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's one thing that Grandmaster Garza had mentioned earlier, and he had taught and spoke on this at Krav Maga whenever I was doing some training there, that sometimes whenever there's harm coming towards you, it's from somebody that you know, somebody that you love, or a situation that got out of hand. And I just remember we were learning the rear naked choke, and he was just showing the right way. Hey, you want to put your elbow here, because if this is somebody, you're not trying to permanently damage them. You're trying to diffuse a situation so you can get out of there. But that's probably important with kids right now too, because, and I haven't seen the statistics, but I've seen people talk about it, with all the kids at home, there's the potential for, domestic situations and violence, and, or somebody that they love or look up to, not be doing nice things to them. And so it's like, hey, if this is wrong, then I need to diffuse the situation and get out of there. I'm not trying to hurt somebody, but I'm trying to protect myself.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's very, very true.
So right now it's 9:42, and hey, I appreciate and I love you guys. There's one more question that I want to ask. How realistic is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training over Zoom? Because I need to know, and I'm about to start rear naked choking my kids' stuffed animals.
No, I've seen people using their dogs. I've seen people using their wives. I don't suggest either one.
Yeah.
It's mainly the second one.
What I would say is concern yourself first with safety and then real.
Yeah.
But it's a balancing act. Make sure you don't hurt that wife.
Okay.
I've been talking to Armando, though, about doing a little online drills for home. So we'll try and get you hooked up, Artie. All right. Well, I'll get Armando on the phone here in a minute. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, I'm ready, because I was on the rug, in our living room, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm shrimping." She was like, no, this is serious.
Scratching my back.
Yeah. I probably should have said that, and she would have maybe understood. Oh, I'm just scratching. Like, okay, So I was doing that, and I was rolling on my back, and she was just. And then anytime I get on the floor, my kids just instantly just jump on me, which is great.
And that buck and roll, man.
Yeah.
That's how I taught my kids.
That's awesome. Hey, I love you guys, and it was really good hanging out today. And I appreciate everything that y'all have done in the community for years and continue to do.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, man. Appreciate it.
Y'all be blessed. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Again, it's 9:43, and going on till 12 o'clock today, there is going to be a food drive. The Houston Food Bank is going to be on the campus of Abundant Life Christian Center, so it's a drive-up thing. So they were mentioning to me earlier, I actually got a text and said, hey, we're listening to you outside, because there's speakers out there, and they got to tune to probably the best radio station in the world, 99.5 FM, or they're listening from the free KHEA radio app from KHEAradio.com, or they're on Facebook. I don't know, but they're out there, and they said, hey, it sounds good. Appreciate the feedback. But yeah, if you need to come, or you know somebody that could benefit from getting a box of food placed in their car, they don't have to get out at all, then let them know. 601 Delaney Road in Lamarck, Texas. They can just pull up, have it placed in there, and go. That's it. Y'all be blessed. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Coming up next is Bethel Everby.